Imagine you're standing in a cafeteria, hungry and half distracted. You glance at the food display, salads at eye level, fries tucked below, and desserts at the end of the line. Without realizing it, you grab a salad and move on. You might think, well, I chose that myself. But did you really? That small shift, placing the salad higher, is what Richard Thaler and Sunstein call a nudge. It's not a push, not a command, but a gentle guide that steers your decision in a better direction without taking away your freedom of choice. That's the central idea of their groundbreaking book, Nudge, Improving Decisions About Health, Wealth, and Happiness. Thaler, a Nobel Prize-winning economist, and Sunstein, a legal scholar, teamed up to explore a fascinating question. Why do smart people make dumb decisions? And how can small changes help them make better ones? Chapter 1. Human problem. We think we're rational, but we're not. Most of us like to believe we're logical. We make plans, compare options, and assume our decisions are thoughtful. But psychology, and Thaler's decades of research, tell a different story. We are predictably irrational. We fall for biases, shortcuts, habits, and emotions. We overestimate our self-control, underestimate risks, and stick to defaults because they're easy. Thaler and Sunstein call us humans, not the perfectly rational econs that traditional economists imagine. Econs always calculate what's best for them. Humans, we get distracted by shiny objects, delay saving for retirement, and forget to cancel free trials. A choice architect is anyone who designs how choices are presented. It could be a cafeteria planner deciding where to put the desserts, a website designer setting default privacy settings, or a government designing a form that asks if you want to donate your organs. Their main insight? The way choices are arranged, the order, the framing, the defaults, deeply influences what people do. And since no design is neutral, it's better to design consciously to help people make choices that improve their lives. That's where libertarian paternalism comes in, the book's most famous and controversial idea. Chapter 2. Libertarian paternalism, freedom plus guidance. Sounds like a contradiction, right? How can you be a libertarian, favoring freedom, and a paternalist, guiding others at the same time? But Thaler and Sunstein argue that it's not only possible, it's essential. Libertarian paternalism means giving people freedom to choose whatever they want, while also nudging them toward options that are likely to make them better off. For example, you can freely opt out of a retirement plan, but the company automatically enrolls you because most people forget to sign up otherwise. You can freely eat dessert, but the cafeteria puts the salad first because most people pick the first thing they see. You're still in control. But the environment is designed to help you make the decision you'd want to make if you were thinking clearly. Life is complicated. Every day we make hundreds of small choices: what to eat, how much to spend, when to sleep, what to invest in. Our brains use shortcuts or heuristics to manage this flood of information. They help us survive, but they also lead to mistakes. Let's look at a few key ones Thaler and Sunstein highlight. Number 1. Anchoring. If I tell you a sweater costs $300, then show you it's on sale for $150, you'll think you're getting a great deal, even if the sweater's only worth $40. That's the anchoring effect. Your mind sticks to the first number you hear. Marketers love this. So do real estate agents, salary negotiators, and anyone trying to frame a deal. Number 2. Availability. We judge things based on how easily examples come to mind. If you just watched a plane crash on the news, you'll think flying is dangerous, even though statistically, it's incredibly safe. This availability heuristic makes us fear unlikely dangers and ignore quiet risks, like skipping medical checkups or overspending slowly over time. Number 3. Representativeness. We stereotype situations and people. If someone is quiet and loves books, we might think librarian, even if there are far more salespeople in the world. We confuse what seems typical with what's actually probable. Number 4. Status quo bias. Humans love defaults. If your phone's brightness setting is auto, most people never change it. If your company automatically puts you in a 401k plan, you'll probably stay in. Defaults are incredibly powerful. Thaler and Sunstein show that simply changing a default can transform behavior, like turning organ donation rates from 20% to over 90%. Number 5. Loss aversion. We hate losing more than we like winning. Losing $100 feels worse than gaining $100 feels good. That fear of loss makes us cling to bad investments, avoid risks, and delay tough choices. But nudges can help reframe decisions so we focus on what we gain instead of what we might lose. Real-life nudges. One of Thaler's most famous examples is from the Netherlands Schiphol airport. Men's restrooms had a cleaning problem. Messy floors. Instead of lectures or punishments, they etched tiny images of a fly into the urinals. Men instinctively aimed at the fly. Result? 80% less spillage. That's a nudge. Fun, small, cheap, and effective. Another example. In Chicago, schools rearranged cafeteria layouts. Just moving healthier foods to more visible spots increased healthy eating. No bans, no shaming. And in finance, automatic enrollment in retirement savings programs has revolutionized participation rates. When people have to opt in, few do. When they're automatically opted in but can leave anytime, nearly everyone stays. Chapter 3. Power of Default Settings. Think about your phone's privacy settings, your Netflix autoplay, or your car's seatbelt reminder. Each one is a nudge, a pre-selected default meant to help or guide you. Thaler and Sunstein emphasize that no-choice architecture is neutral. Even if you decide not to nudge, that's still a choice. So you might as well design with care and transparency. They argue that governments, companies, and even families can use nudging ethically, as long as it's open, evidence-based, and easy to opt out of. Thaler builds much of his work on behavioral psychology, especially from Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky, whose research revealed that people don't act like rational calculators. Instead, we're emotional, context-driven, and easily influenced. We respond to framing, the way a question is worded, more than to pure logic. Example, a doctor says, "This surgery has a 90% survival rate." You feel confident, but if they said it has a 10% mortality rate, you'd hesitate. Even though the numbers are identical, that's framing. Another subtle but powerful nudge. Chapter 4. Why Governments and Companies Should Care. Thaler and Sunstein believe nudging isn't just about personal habits. It's about public good. Governments can use nudges to encourage vaccination, reduce smoking, and increase organ donations. Companies can help employees save more, eat better, and make smarter investments. But, and this is key, nudges should never manipulate. They should help people make the choices they would make if they were fully informed and thinking clearly. Critics sometimes call nudging sneaky. Is it really free choice if someone subtly guides you? Thaler and Sunstein's response is simple. Every system guides behavior. Every default, every layout, every form. So why not guide people toward better outcomes? Honestly and transparently. They promote transparent nudging. No hidden tricks, no deception. You can always opt out. And if a nudge improves lives without limiting freedom, it's not manipulation, it's smart design. Close your eyes and imagine this. You're at work, filling out a new benefits form. There is a box that says, "Do you want to enroll in the 401k retirement plan?" You hesitate. You think, "I'll do it later." But you never do. Now imagine the same form, but this time, you're already enrolled. The box says, "You're in. Do you want to opt out?" Most people leave it as it is. That simple change, from opt-in to opt-out, has changed millions of lives. Thaler and Sunstein show how this one nudge has helped workers across America save billions for retirement. Why does it work? Because doing nothing is easy. Humans love inertia. We stick with the default. So when the default is good, like saving money, it becomes effortless progress. Chapter 5. Saving for the Future, the Save More Tomorrow Plan. One of Thaler's most famous success stories is the Save More Tomorrow program, or SMART plan. Here's how it works. When employees get a raise, instead of spending it all, a portion automatically goes into their savings. No one loses money from their current paycheck. And since the savings go up only when salaries rise, it feels painless. The result? People save more without feeling restricted. They don't fight the urge to spend. The system gently works around their psychology. Thaler proved that when we design systems with human behavior in mind, not against it, people succeed naturally. Let's move to health, another area where good intentions often crash into bad habits. Think about it. Everyone wants to eat better, exercise more, and take their medications on time. But life gets in the way. We're busy, tired, distracted. That's why nudges work so beautifully here. Hospitals have used default options for organ donation with remarkable success. In countries where you have to opt in, donation rates are low, around 20%. But in countries where you're automatically a donor unless you opt out, rates jumped to over 90%. No pressure, no lectures, just a simple design shift. Thaler and Sunstein remind us, sometimes saving lives doesn't need new technology, just smarter forms. Other health nudges are subtle but powerful. Doctors send personalized text reminders to patients to take their medicine. Adherence goes up dramatically. Cafeterias put fruit near the checkout. Fruit sales soar. Apps track steps and give small rewards. People walk more. Each nudge taps into our psychology. We respond to ease, feedback, and small wins. Chapter 6. Nudges for better eating. You might remember from part 1, the cafeteria salad example. That's not just theory. In Chicago schools, rearranging food displays made students choose healthier meals. No bans, no force, just design. In grocery stores, labeling items with traffic light colors, green for healthy, red for less healthy, helps people instantly see what's better. Again, nobody's forced, but many people naturally shift toward green. Humans don't need more information. We need better presentation. When it comes to money, Thaler and Sunstein found that people often behave like emotional creatures, not calculators. We chase trends, panic sell stocks, and forget to save. So the authors suggest using nudges to make saving the easy, default, obvious path. For instance, governments can design tax refunds to go directly into savings accounts unless you opt out. Banks can show how much interest you lose by withdrawing early, reframing the pain of loss. Credit card statements can highlight, if you pay only the minimum, you'll owe $X in interest, and people end up paying faster. One study found that when credit card bills displayed the cost of minimum payments, repayment rates improved dramatically. The nudge wasn't a law, it was awareness. Chapter 7. Behavioral tricks that help and hurt us. Thaler and Sunstein also explore how our mental habits can lead to bad financial choices, and how good nudges can correct them. For example, present bias. We value now more than later. That's why we eat cake today and promise to diet tomorrow. Overconfidence. We believe we're above average investors, even when we're not. Mental accounting. We treat money differently depending on where it comes from, spending bonuses faster than salaries. A good nudge works with these tendencies, not against them. It doesn't tell people, be rational. It says, let's make the rational thing easy. Health insurance is famously confusing. People don't read the fine print, and they often pick costly plans that don't suit them. Thaler and Sunstein show that simple nudges, like default enrollment into standard, affordable plans, or easy comparison charts, help millions make better choices. In some US states, healthcare websites now highlight most people choose this plan. That small phrase acts as a social nudge, leveraging our natural instinct to follow what others do. Chapter 8. The power of social nudges. Humans are social creatures. We compare ourselves, sometimes too much, to others. Thaler and Sunstein argue that we can use this in a positive way. In one experiment, people received energy bills that showed not only their own usage, but also their neighbors. Guess what happened? Households that used more energy started cutting back fast. No one told them to. They just didn't want to be the wasteful one. But here's the twist. When people saw they used less than average, they started using more. So the researchers added a smiley face for those who used less. That small addition kept good behavior steady. Lesson learned. A smiley face can save the planet. Nudging also plays a role in protecting the environment. From reducing plastic use to encouraging public transport, governments are finding gentle ways to shift habits. For example, charging a small fee for plastic bags made millions switch to reusable ones. Setting green energy as the default provider increased clean energy adoption overnight. Sending personalized carbon footprint reports helps people understand and change their habits. Thaler and Sunstein's message is clear. When good choices are convenient, people make them. Chapter 9. Government and policy nudges. Now let's zoom out. After Nudge was published, governments around the world began experimenting with these ideas. The UK launched its Behavioral Insights team, also known as the Nudge Unit. Their mission: use psychology to make public services smarter, cheaper, and more effective. They ran small experiments, changing letter wording, defaults, or reminders, and saved taxpayers millions. For example, when the UK tax department added a single sentence to their letters, 9 out of 10 people in your area have already paid their taxes. Payment rates jumped dramatically. That's social proof in action. Similar teams popped up in the US, Australia, Canada, Singapore, and many others, using nudges to boost college enrollment, promote vaccination, and even increase voter turnout. Thaler and Sunstein didn't just start a government trend. They helped spark a new scientific movement. Before Nudge, economics mostly assumed that people were rational decision makers. After Nudge, that illusion was gone. Behavioral economics became a mainstream field, studying how real people think, spend, and choose. Richard Thaler even won the Nobel Prize in Economics in 2017 for his work, proving that humans don't act like robots, and that understanding this can make the world better. Chapter 10. Ethical questions. When does nudging go too far? But the more powerful nudges become, the more we need to ask, where's the line? Thaler and Sunstein are very clear. Nudges must be transparent, easy to opt out of, and aimed at helping people as they themselves would define help. For example, save more tomorrow. Good. It helps people reach their goals. Hidden defaults that benefit corporations. Not good. That's manipulation. They warn against sludge, the opposite of a nudge. Sludge is when companies or bureaucracies make things harder on purpose. Long forms, confusing terms, endless phone menus. Sludge wastes time, energy, and trust. Thaler says every organization should measure its sludge and clean it up. Imagine how much better life would be if canceling a subscription was as easy as starting one. One of the book's most powerful lessons is this: big problems don't always need big solutions. Sometimes they just need small design tweaks based on how real humans behave. Chapter 11. Nudging in the Digital Age. Thaler and Sunstein wrote Nudge before the explosion of smartphones and social media, but their ideas have become even more relevant today. Think about every app notification, every default setting, every "are you sure" pop-up. They're all forms of choice architecture. The challenge now is ethical design. Tech companies can use nudges to help users, like reminding them to rest or limit screen time, or to exploit them, keeping them scrolling for hours. In an age of algorithms, who designs the nudges and why has never been more important. Let's pause for something practical: how you can use nudges in your own life. Set good defaults for yourself. Automate savings, healthy meal plans, or bedtime reminders. Use pre-commitment. Promise your future self that you'll do something, like scheduling workouts or setting screen limits. Change your environment. Keep fruit on the counter, not chips. Keep books by your bed, not your phone. Make feedback visible. Track your spending, your steps, or your progress. What gets measured improves. You don't need to change your willpower. You just need to design your surroundings the way a choice architect would. Chapter 12. The birth of the nudge units. After the book's success, governments began creating behavioral insight teams, nicknamed nudge units. The first major one appeared in the United Kingdom, started under Prime Minister David Cameron. The idea spread fast. Soon, the US, Australia, Canada, Singapore, and many others built their own nudge teams. Today, dozens of countries use behavioral science to make policies that actually fit human behavior, not just theory. Chapter 13. How nudging changed business. Look around today. Companies big and small use nudges everywhere, but the smart ones do it ethically. Streaming platforms automatically cue the next episode. That's a nudge for engagement. Fitness apps send you small reminders, a nudge for health. Financial apps show future projections of your savings, a nudge for responsibility. Thaler and Sunstein's framework gave companies permission to design around human nature, not by manipulating, but by helping users reach their own goals. And the most successful brands today, they're the ones that make good behavior easy and rewarding. But nudge isn't just about governments or corporations. It's about you and me, designing our own lives. Ask yourself, what if I design my environment to make the right choices automatic? Chapter 14. The Nudge Philosophy. Small steps, big change. The beauty of nudge lies in its humility. It doesn't promise perfection or massive revolutions. It promises something better. Progress through design. Instead of shouting, "Be better," it whispers, "Let's make better easier." A great example? Seatbelts. For decades, governments begged people to wear them. Then came a simple nudge, a reminder chime in cars that doesn't stop until you buckle up. Now seatbelt use is almost universal. No force, no punishment, just persistence and smart design. Chapter 15. Nudge and Freedom. A core message of the book is about freedom. Nudging doesn't trap people. It frees them from their own biases. Traditional laws say, you must. Nudges say, you can, but here's the easier way. That's what Thaler and Sunstein call libertarian paternalism. protecting freedom of choice while helping people make choices they won't regret later. They believe society doesn't need more control, it needs smarter structure. Thaler often says the real challenge isn't creating nudges, it's preventing sludge. Chapter 16. The Future of Nudging. As the world becomes more digital, nudging is entering new territory. Artificial intelligence, social media, personalized advertising. That means nudges are more powerful than ever, but also riskier. An algorithm can tailor choices for each person, for good or for profit. So Thaler and Sunstein urge us to be mindful choice architects in this new world. Technology should empower people, not exploit them. Chapter 17. A world full of choice architects. Every teacher, parent, designer, and policymaker is a choice architect. The question isn't whether we're being nudged. We always are. The real question is, who designs the nudges? And to what end? If you remember only 3 things from nudge, let them be these. We're not perfectly rational. Small changes in context lead to big changes in behavior. Design matters more than willpower. Freedom and structure can coexist. The best systems guide, not force. Chapter 18. The Legacy of Nudge. More than a decade later, nudge has become more than a book. It's a mindset, a quiet revolution in how we think about decisions. Thaler and Sunstein showed us that freedom isn't just about having choices, it's about making the right ones easier. So as we close this journey through nudge, take a deep breath and think, where in your life could a gentle push make a big difference? Because in the end, the world doesn't change through massive revolutions. It changes through quiet redesign. One default, one reminder, one small step at a time. Thanks for watching. If this summary helped you, drop a comment below and tell me your thoughts about money. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who wants to take control of their money. See you in the next video.